Oilers lose.
Topical.
Game 1 of 82, baby. Flames and Oilers 4-3 in an 8-round shootout. It's Cammy and Mike reunited on Afterburner for the season, brought to you by our pals at Bet365. Whatever your bet is, it's never ordinary. And boy, howdy, this was a whopper. Flames score 3 unanswered goals to salvage a point and then get the dagger in the shootout. We've got milestones, stars, and the only brand new contract we care around these parts belongs to Dustin Wolf. As always, thank you for using your precious time on this earth to hang out with us, and consider supporting Youth Centers of Calgary through the Super Chat. You know how this works by now. Pop that in the chat. Whatever you comment, we'll start talking about on the show. Youth Centers of Calgary, a place where kids are welcomed and accepted as they are, a place where they get a break from the chronic stress that is the reality for many of their lives, and they have a place to hang out and have fun. This was fun. Mike, you thought we were in for a long night when you first rolled in here today.
I think this is 2 years in a row where we have rolled in for a game on opening night, and it has gone precisely the opposite way that we expected it would before the game and midway through the game, where last year the Flames get out to a real rough start against the Vancouver Canucks, and we're sitting there and saying, this is going exactly the way we thought it would. And then they roll on and win an improbable game via comeback, and they prove themselves unable to be counted out for most of the season. And tonight, they were well on their way towards losing this game in a horrific manner. They were really bad in the first half of this game. And then they picked up the pace. They kind of took it to the Oilers in the second half of the game. Third period, they were kind of all over them. And then an 8-round shootout. It's never ordinary on opening day.
You know what the actual turning point was, though? It wasn't looking good. It wasn't looking great.
It was not.
But then Jack Archie and Bobby Germany rolled in partway through, the world's worst boy band.
And
then you were singing Take On Me. I think it was sometime after you hit the high note. They cued the comeback.
No. All right.
I'd flip you if I didn't sprain my wrist. That's on for this season, by the way. We'll lay down the pillows over there.
An ongoing arrangement.
He'll fly. But we'll get through it all. I don't know. Calgary played them really tight through the first 5 minutes. They held Edmonton without a shot for the first 6 minutes. And you know that Edmonton had that jump in their step after McDavid got that rousing standing ovation after contract negotiations. And he came up with, please, sir, may I have some less?
Yeah.
May I have the same?
Anytime your star player, it gives you a 2-year contract extension, you got to be really excited about it. And the Oilers, they were quite faithful to their captain from the start of this game. And you know what? The early returns were encouraging. The Oilers looked like a very good team. And a little past the 5-minute mark, they started to really pour it on. They scored 3 goals in quick succession. But as was also the case last spring and last summer, they couldn't get that final goal. And their losing streak has been extended to 3 games.
I'm not a big hot take person, but this is my hottest of hot takes. If Rasmus Anderson was an Edmonton Oiler, they would have a Stanley Cup.
You said that multiple times during the game.
I believe it. I truly believe it.
I mean, I don't disagree necessarily. I just think I don't know. I don't know what to make of Rasmus at this point. It's still very much in wait and see. There's a whole lot of guys on this team who are very much in wait and see. But it's kind of what they need.
We'll get to that recap. As you mentioned, it was Edmonton that struck first. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, man, it always shocks me how long he's actually been around the league, because it actually just kind of feels like yesterday.
Real undisputed MVP tonight. He was fantastic. I mean, there were other standout players, but you got to get settled in. We'll
get to the Wolf highlights a little bit later, but earned that 7-year contract pretty much in overtime on that penalty kill alone.
He earned it in the preseason. Come on, we're just, this is just cherries on top on cherries. We're just layers of cherries for Dustin Wolf.
Important chronological here. Shortly after the Nugent-Hopkins goals was actually when the Jays won.
That's right.
Yeah, and we'll also dig into that a little bit later. Yeah. But while we're celebrating that, you get the Ornar. Oilers really start moving the boots, and Andrew Mangiapane, top corner for
easy
his
money.
First. Oh, it too, Andrew?
If they were there, but still, no, he's watching. And that's a perfect snipe. But that's the kind of shot that I haven't really seen Mangiapane take in 3 years since he had shoulder surgery. So good for him. I like Andrew. He's a good player. I liked him when he was here. So I hope
He's awesome when he was here. It's
I-
just eerie.
I don't like that he's there.
I know there's
It's-
more than like 50 players over the years who have played for both teams, but it still doesn't make
Just
it any
doesn't
less
feel right.
strange.
It doesn't feel right when it's a player who Calgary drafted and developed. That's the weird part of it. There have been players who have, been, hung around. They traded for Mike Camilleri twice. And, then he finishes it off in Edmonton for like 50 games and wasn't very good. But there's guys like James Neal where you're like, okay, I'm glad he's in Edmonton. They have to deal with that guy now. But,
Yeah, but what did you get back?
Still in St. Louis Blues camp. Yikes. But with Mangiapane, it's like that's a guy who you watch develop, and now you got to watch the fruits of it for Edmonton. I mean, I wish him well. I wish not too well, but I wish him well.
My mom is a huge Flames fan, but doesn't know a ton about what else is going on in the hockey world. And she got invited to do a work fantasy league one year, and they were totally just trying to pad the pot by inviting her. So I helped her draft, but after that she had to manage it, and she kept on benching Austin Matthews because she just had so much belief in Mangiapane.
Yeah.
Got second though.
Yeah, hey, well, that was probably the year that he scored 35.
You know what? It sure was.
Yeah.
And when he went to Worlds too.
Yeah, so you can understand it a little bit.
Yeah.
All over it.
Yeah, lots of memories in the chat here. Grant Fuhr, Flame, sure was. Steve Smith.
Yeah.
The guy played on both sides. But...
Alex Chason.
Mhm.
Jim Vandermeer. You want me to keep going? Aaron Johnson?
No, we're going to talk about one more Edmonton goal, and then we are moving on. Leon Draisaitl, the last of the usual suspect.
But yeah, I mean, that's the thing when you're the Oilers, you need to have these guys so you can plug and play, and look pretty good there. So.
Yeah, career goal 400 for the former PA Raider and Kelowna Rocket.
Mm-hmm.
But now, for your first NHL goal, would you rather hit an empty net or would you rather hit this? Matt Bay.
Matt earned it over the course of the game. He was certainly great in the preseason. It did not look to me like a game that you sometimes see with a guy who makes the team out of camp and is sort of an upstart prospect where once the game starts to mean something, they get overwhelmed. That's what it didn't look like that at all. It looked like a guy who felt very comfortable. And maybe it'll still happen. The games only get harder. Mm-hmm. But for him, he was, a top 3 most noticeable Flame skater for sure.
But he was fun. He was trying some stuff, and he was out there in really important situations. Yeah. I think they had him out
2 minutes left.
2 minutes left
in a tie game against the Oilers. Mm-hmm. And yeah, Matt Vigridden's on the ice. I mean,
and I'm just sure there will be prettier goals than that one to come.
Well, the thing is, he had took 5 shots, which is pretty good. Mm-hmm. Pretty sure the possession numbers were okay with him on the ice. They weren't very good for anybody tonight, but he was named the second star of the game in the arena. He was the only Flame named a star, which is questionable, considering some of the saves that were made. But in any event, Matt Vey did not look out of place. He's a guy who, even if he does end up going down, if Huberdeau gets back, when he gets back, he's made a very good first impression.
Actually, maybe Jack, sorry, I'm going to get you to pull these out of order, but I think it was his first shift. He absolutely walked
Evan Bouchard. Yeah,
he had a great opportunity here. It was one of the only real highlights for the team of the first period.
It was fantastic. I was watching the first over at OJ's down the street, and I had the Blue Jays sort of right in front of me, and I had the Flames game over to the left, and there was some back half of last season. There weren't a whole lot of just individual efforts like that. That was the first shot. The first of his 5 shots on the night. So
yeah, huge. And his goal didn't end up kickstarting the Flames comeback. Next one, a little controversy.
Yeah,
Mr. Connor Zary swats it down past Skinner for his first of the season. It gets reviewed for
really, I just don't know. But you know what? I'm not going to complain about it. It's good for Connor Zary because that's a guy who really struggled to finish at times last year and needed that, lucky goal every now and then to just maybe get on a bit of a run, and it never came. And so it's great for him. But it just, kind of sums up the night.
The final redemption for the Coleman goal that didn't count in the 2022 playoffs.
I don't know if I'd go that far, but it was the Flames scored 3 goals on increasingly unlikely plays. Like they just
The Coleman one might be the worst.
They scored 3 goals on no chances is the way that I would put it. They had lots of chances in the third, but that to me is all on the goalie. And I'm sure game 1 after signing for 25 million more, the captain is not too thrilled to see that one going.
It sucks. I mean, mistakes are going to happen. I don't like to crap on a goalie too much, but that is the difference maker. But that sets us up for overtime.
Yeah.
Oh, how did the
Fiery.
Flames survive that one? They honestly had a great shot just to end it on their own terms on the power play. Kadri had a great play where you didn't like his shot, but he was able to corral his own rebound, which is huge.
And then he got it back.
Completely outweights
Morgan
the
Frost.
D and just tees up Frost. But Skinner was there to make that one, kept his team alive.
I thought Frost was finishing it right there.
But then again, we talk about Gridden playing in huge situations. There he is. He has an overtime breakaway after they are absolutely hemmed, and those guys were dead tired. Couldn't finish it off, but he got it on net.
Yeah, and Gridden, I thought initially he'd shot it wide. Skinner got a piece of it. He put it on net. It was a good chance. I thought as the game went on, all 4 lines started to look really good. Even the 4th line, which I think was ideologically misconstructed with Lomberg, Kirkland, and Sharangovich. It just is not a combination that makes any sense. But they did their job. I thought they finished. I think they were the best line by possession. So they all sort of found ways to contribute in the end. The defense was a bit of a different story. It was all over the place. We can get to that in a little bit.
You didn't let Justin Kirkland on the OTPK?
That was something. I did not expect to see Justin Kirkland out in an overtime situation.
I am happy to see him back, period.
I'm happy to see him back. And yeah, the same juxtaposition. McDavid's the first shooter in the shootout, and Kirkland's the second, and neither of them scored. So it's something. But yeah, they held their own in overtime, and had it not been for that penalty on Mackenzie Weegar, which he certainly took offense to for good reason, it wasn't a penalty. They might have had a chance to win that overtime.
Wolf stops all 6 shots, and those were grade A.
Oh yeah,
that was unbelievable.
Yeah, the overtime penalty kill. Wolf was just earning his keep and then some. I mean, he should have been the first star of the game. He was not the first star of the game. I think the first star was, let me check my show notes here, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Okay. But I thought Wolf was just the best player on the ice for either team. I thought he was just on top of his game like he usually is. And ultimately when that happens, you can say all you want that this team doesn't have what it takes. And I say that sometimes, but when Wolf is able to push the buttons the way that he does, any comeback is possible. And that was the case last year, and it was the case today.
And there might be a lot of 1-goal games this season, but entertaining way to get there. And talking about Wolf being the biggest player, I think we do have that first shot, McDavid in the shootout versus Dustin. And before we get to the winning goal too.
What? Which impression?
No, I don't know. You pick.
No, I'm not.
I'm here to let you live your best life.
Pulsating action. Doing my Jack Michaels impression.
It's not a good enough reason to use that word.
Pulsating.
No.
It's just the best.
We're gonna digress because we have a super chat. Thank goodness.
Super chat.
Thank you, Jeremy Skinner, beer league goalie.
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
I don't know. As someone who just started playing beer league this year, there's some pretty good goalies in beer league.
Yeah, I mean, Skinner. I mean, that is definitely an attempt. The one that Coleman scored on is an attempt that, if I was playing in beer league and I was bearing down on a goalie, that's the kind of shot that I would try to take. The puck's way out there, but I don't think you'd have a tough time scoring on that in beer league. Most goalies would get that away in time. I mean, I don't know. The Oilers did not make really any changes in goal. They added Connor Ingram, and all the best to him. He didn't play a whole lot last year. It is perplexing. It really is perplexing. And to me, I don't get if Connor was waiting for something to happen for the Oilers in a tangible direction. If you're looking for them to make a move in net or to make some sort of move to shore up the defense, what was he exactly waiting for? that sort of spurred him into signing this 2-year contract. Because to me, I don't know. I mean, it's really tough for me to look at Stuart Skinner and net for the Oilers and say that's a team that legitimately has a chance. And they obviously legitimately have a chance. They've made the Cup final the last 2 years.
Oh,
but it's
why would you not sign with that core with Leon
I don't know.
over? No,
Ike
I don't
Howard,
buy that.
Ike Howard, and Matt Savoy. Is that what pushed him over the edge? Like I don't know if it took him. Why did it take him 3 months then? Like what was the holdup?
Weigh the options.
What
Be
options?
silly not to.
What options though? Like really, if you're gonna just sign for 2 years at 12.5 anyway, what were you really thinking was gonna happen? What was the alternative? I don't know. It's just it's interesting. I don't know.
He was really out of options, folks.
Well, it's not that he wasn't
The
out
Oilers
of
had
options.
him right where they wanted him.
I don't know. I think it's time is ticking.
Shout out to Marvin here in the super chat. Wolf, Grid, and Kadri, our heroes for tonight. Go Flames, go.
Absolutely. There was one earlier too. There was one.
We got another one.
Yeah, there was one from.
Save
yeah,
Ferris.
from Save
I'm
Ferris.
so sorry. I'm so sorry, Ferris.
$13.99. That's a healthy super chat.
I don't have the chat up the whole time, so sorry I missed that one.
It's
But
a
yeah,
healthy super chat.
Team Tank needs to start looking for a second job so they can afford to live in Vancouver. Tonight, Dustin Wolf went into the house McDavid built and proved there's a new savior in town.
Mm-hmm.
Shakespearean.
I couldn't have said it any better myself.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Love it. That was, I mean, we're almost like to the end of the shootout here. This took almost as long as that shootout. 8 rounds. We thought Kapanen's shot was capping in.
Yep.
But alas, it was, I think, the third post of
3
the shootout.
posts. Yeah, to both. I think both sides and the crossbar were hit.
And that sets us up for the game winner.
This isn't very good at shootouts. I said that, and even Jack Michael said it. He's only 7 for 39 in his career, and then he goes and pulls that out of his hat, and it's over.
I think he thrives on that. Maybe he heard you.
Yeah, you might. I'm a loud man. I don't know. I'm a loud mouth.
Well, 4-3 in a shootout. The Flames take the first of 4 BOAs this season. BOA, dramatic fashion.
So that was the first time the Flames have come back from 3 down to win a Battle of Alberta in 14 years. And I remember the previous game. I watched the previous game in my basement and I will never forget it. Do you remember? You wouldn't. I don't know if you'd remember. The game tying goal in that game was scored by none other than Steve Staios.
Naturally. With
2 minutes left, under 2 minutes left. And they won it in a shootout. Alex Tanguay scored the winning goal in the shootout. That was the same year that Jordan Eberle had the crazy, like that season opener. He scores the crazy goal where he goes around TJ Brody and Mark Giordano and scores on Mika. But yeah, they won that game 5-4. The goal scores in that game.
TSN also produce like a big jokey story about everyone, like, who does Jordan Eberle think he is?
Exactly. Yeah, Jim Vandermeer was like, nobody was talking about my past that led Jordan Eberle up. I think I was that one. The goal scores in that game: Magnus Paajarvi, Timu Hartikainen, Colin Fraser, and Ryan Jones for the Oilers. Iginla scores goals number 35 and 36 for Calgary on the year, en route to scoring 43. Curtis Glencross scored his 23rd, and Steve Staios from Rennie Bork and Olli Jokinen, the game tying goal before Tanguay won it in the shootout. So
Rennie Bork, Pride of Lac La Biche. Another super chat. You guys are awesome. $10 from Ken. A win tonight. All we need now is Mikey and Cammy to get Jack to get some merchandise for us to buy.
Wow. Let's get on that.
We've been on that for years. So.
Hurry up, Jack.
I know what would be, Jack, what's your opinion on this? What would be like the quintessential Mike Gould merch item?
Oh man, I don't know.
Oh man.
That's difficult.
That's a loaded question.
That's difficult.
Everyone take some time, ruminate on
Mike
that.
Gould merch. I don't think that's a thing. Ken is adding he wants some barn burner and afterburner Speedos. Those are not permitted. We had Dean show up once in something similar.
Oh.
And it soured the whole thing.
Oh dear.
It's not under consideration. No.
Mike has spoken.
Yeah. I was there. I was the only one there.
Sorry to do this to you, Derek, but now is the time where I'm choosing to talk about our pal, Derek Newman.
Yeah, Speedo.
The Newman Group with CIR Realty.
Derek's Speedy at selling.
Derek's actually selling my house right now. It's made it a lot easier. Let me tell you what, he's doing all the work. Like I've done literally nothing. He even had someone come clean my place. I was,
Wow.
when you're like nervous, like
I do know when I'm nervous.
I like clean for the cleaner to come, and I'm like, I'm still too dirty for the cleaner. But no, they took care of all that. They staged it, all that stuff. I think I pulled up the old Afterburner liners from last season, got his number, and texted him, and he called me like 2 minutes later while he was on vacation in BC.
My goodness.
Yeah, he's been on it. We found like our dream house somewhere.
He's just all over it.
Yeah, so if you're interested in buying or selling in the Calgary area, you can call Derek. You're going to be watching the schedule in March, April as close as it was last year when it came down to literally those last couple of games. It's going to be stacked again.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think the Flames were going to be in the mix last year. They ended up being in the mix. I don't think they're going to be in the mix this year. Maybe they will be in the mix. I've been wrong innumerable times in the past, and I will be wrong so many more. I've been wrong today already. I went to Arby's for lunch. But it's just I don't know. I don't know if you are in a position where you need to be making these types of moves right off the hop, but maybe Devin Cooley goes out tomorrow. If they do put him in tomorrow and he gives up the, 3-on-5 like he did in the preseason finale, the last game that he played. I don't know. I think it really comes down to whether it's just totally off the mark or not for him. If he's totally below replacement level, then you got to make a move, I guess. But it does sort of harken back to when Mika had his rotating crop of backups. There were all sorts. There was the year that they started with Phil Sauvé and they ended up with Brian Boucher. And I think combined they played like 5 games. And it's like
in the 2010s alone, there were.
Well, there was the Calgary
12.
Tower. There was Henrik Karlsson. There was Leland Irving. There was Joey Mack.
Taylor for a single game.
Joey McDonald. Yeah. Danny Taylor.
Reto,
I guess Reto Berra was after.
Yoni Ordio.
Those are guys who were all after me.
I know. I'm saying 2010.
Well, sure. Yeah. Reto Berra and, well, I mean, yeah, if we're going 2010s, there's all sorts. Louis Domingue. But yeah, I just don't know if it's the priority yet unless it just goes totally off the rails.
Well, since we're done naming goalies, shout out Al. We were down 3-0, and then I started drinking Barn Burner Blondes. Just saying. We know it's on the menu for you all season long.
Brody is asking, where do you even find an Arby's in Calgary these days? You don't. They find you.
There's a couple, yeah.
The Arby's finds you. There's one up in Forest Lawn. I know that. When they had the mac and cheese, it was worthwhile.
What'd you get?
Oh, beef and cheddar. It wasn't
beef and cheddar. The matzo sticks are good.
I once went to an Arby's in Phoenix and I threw up outside of it.
Gross.
It was so bad. It was right by the fairgrounds. I like Arby's in Canada is a
no more free plugs.
Is a 2 out of 10. The one in Phoenix is a -3 out of 10, and that's why they're not a sponsor.
And I guess they're not gonna be.
This show not sponsored by Arby's.
You're stressing out, Pinder.
We don't want your money, Arby's. All right.
Memory serves, the Jamocha milkshakes are pretty good.
What's next?
Oh, well, we're talking about tomorrow. Do we see Zane Parekh tomorrow?
I think you got to. I thought Jake Bean was the weak link tonight. He was a bit of a wink link, too, with the way that the lights were moving past him on those cars. Like they were just blowing by him while he was down on the floor and just sort of looking for his jockstrap a couple times. I just didn't think he did enough to persuade anybody of his level of play, that it is NHL caliber. I thought his preseason was really rough. It was a small sample, but it was just, the chance differences and the expected goals differences in the preseason with being on the ice. Not that preseason statistics matter at all.
Okay, but I'm asking about Zane. It's not the dunk on Jake Bean hour.
Well, I'm just sort of saying, Zane in the preseason was an adventure. He was up and down. I will readily admit to being blinded a little bit by the fact that, the goalies behind him were not doing him any favors. There were guys, I will readily admit, there were guys who were making even worse blunders than Zane were, who had the benefit of not playing in front of goaltenders who, while they were on the ice, were posting an .820 save percentage, which was what the case was with Zane on the ice in the preseason. His goalies were just terrible whenever he was on the ice. That being said, he's clearly got a lot of room to develop. Mm-hmm. And if you want to develop, I get wanting to shield him against the Oilers. The Canucks are a good team too, though. I think they don't get enough credit. I think now that they've moved Miller and they've added, a couple things to shift things around, I think they're going to be a little bit better than people think, especially coming off a terrible year. And I don't think it's a bad idea to give him that sort of test. I would like to see that.
I am so excited to watch Braden Coots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
WHL. Gotta have
Big
it.
fan, big fan. Hey, if you're watching the World Juniors, that's a name to keep an eye out for. I mean, honestly, both of them. And I mean, I think one of the hardest parts about transitioning to the NHL is honestly just the defensive side of the puck. That's a lot of what the AHL is. Just teaching these guys to play in a pro defensive structure.
Yeah.
They can't be wilding like they can in major junior. So, but like he's made his debut. Like, what's the rush? It's not like they need him to step in and be the guy. And if you look back, even at Dustin Wolf, as highly touted as he was for being such a low pick, like he got his first starts against San Jose, Arizona, Anaheim. And that's like for a reason. Work up to those harder matchups. Don't overextend him. Like, even if he has like all the gumption in the world, and I'm sure Zane did want to be in tonight, but
well, yeah,
he's going to get his shots.
And if you're waiting,
build some confidence, get to World Juniors, light it up.
If you're waiting for a time to play Zane against lesser opponents, this first month isn't going to afford you many opportunities. It's a bit of a grind. It's a bit of a gauntlet right out of the gate for the Flames here. We'll get to the road ahead in a bit, but it's not going to be easy. And so you got to play him at some point. And I have a feeling that once he plays, I mean, there's people in the chat who are saying he's, Gridden has the confidence and Parekh is a bit meek. I don't think Parekh is meek at all. I think if anything, he's a little bit too overzealous at times with some of his decisions that he makes, but that's not a bad quality in a player who has the capability to be a star. So I think I would certainly put him in tomorrow, and I would just sort of see how the chips fall from there. It's by the same token, if you're putting him in to play in front of Devin Cooley, that was kind of where things started to unravel a bit in the preseason. Was they kept putting him out, and every mistake ended up in the back of his net. And that's the one thing you don't want to see. So everybody needs to be on their toes.
Unreal. Are we going to have Pike on?
I don't know. Pike's in the chat.
That would be a treat.
He said he's down.
He's down. Let's see if Edmonton's
Do we have the technology?
Does Edmonton have the technology? I'm not concerned about.
He was on the
technology.
pregame show.
Yeah, well, it might have fallen apart since then.
Dude, I got to go to Edmonton for the Alberta Basketball Association 50th anniversary gala this year. John Stockton was there.
Was he?
Yeah.
Wow. In Edmonton.
Yeah.
Wow.
NBA all-time assists and steals leader.
Ever been to Stockton, California?
I know you have.
I have. Yeah,
I've been to Spokane, home of Gonzaga University.
Have you?
Go Bulldogs. I grew up that's like the closest city to where I grew up.
Yeah. You were what? Like
3 hours.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Good
Have
talk.
to drive past the Big Athol though on the way.
The what?
There's a town called Athol. It might
Really?
be pronounced Atoll, but they have a big water tower, and you have to drive past it to go to Silverwood.
Ooh.
So every time you pass by, you're like,
Yeah, there it is.
everyone wave to the Big Athol.
There it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So well, while we're waiting for Pike there, huge news today. Oh my gosh. Can we play the clip?
Oh yeah, play the clip. Jack, get it.
Jays.
Get it.
The Yankee lose. The Yankee lose.
I mean,
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Yeah.
Give an Emmy to whoever is running the switcher.
Cammie, you weren't a big fan of the big celebration for the winning the ALDS.
I've come around on it a
You've
little
come
bit
around.
since seeing it, but my initial reaction to a lot of sports do it, you know, where you win like one round in the playoffs and you have like the champagne out and the goggles.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Commemorative hats.
what'd you win though? But I'll give it to him.
Yeah, I
It
mean,
took a while. I hope, and I was texting friends and saying, I do truly hope that Buffalo celebrates just as hard when they make the playoffs again.
I mean, it's the Final Four, right? Like that's a big deal. They've made it to the ALCS. They're going to be playing either Detroit or Seattle. I think Pike's on the air with us.
Yeah, but the Mariners do have the Etsy witches on their side.
The Etsy Witches. We don't need
Yes.
to say anything more about the Etsy Witches. It's not that kind of show.
I love the Etsy witches.
Something else happened with the Etsy Witches. We're not even going to go there. Pike, how you doing, man?
Also, wait, but we do know for sure.
What a
Pike-
weird hockey game.
I think there were some Etsy Witches on the ice.
You know that sinking feeling you get where you're like, this could get ugly? Halfway through the hockey game, I was thinking to myself, oh, this could get ugly. And then Matvei Gridin, completely content to score an ugly one. His exact phrase, he had this big goofy smile on his face post game when we talked to him. His exact phrase was he was trying to throw a backdoor pass to Matt Coronado, and then it went off a skate, and then he smiled and said, "I'll take it."
Pike.
And then they managed to keep doing things like that. So I mean, the Connor Zari's goal was objectively a very nice goal and a skill play, but then you have like just a bunch of weird stuff, and then 16 shooters in the shootout. Yeah, that's how you guys doing? What a weird
Pike,
game.
halfway through the game, I thought the Oilers were going to win this one 10-0. I was saying this in the chat. I was like, if Wolf lets in another, put in Cooley and just see what happens. And then, yeah, Matvei Gridin, who had a great game from start to finish. I thought he was, their most engaged skater. Just sort of puts the whole game on turnaround. And how is the atmosphere up in Rogers? Because it can get crazy up there, but it can also get quiet real quick.
Especially when McDavid came out after, just everything when he came out at the beginning.
Yeah, like it was the very long cheer, and I'll say this: first half of the game, they looked like a team that had the capability of going to a Stanley Cup final yet again. Second half of the game, you're just like, what the hell is that? I mean, I think I feel for the Oilers fans. I know, we all have Oilers fans in our lives that, despite our better judgment, we know and love. And I felt bad for because imagine if you're the Oilers fans, you're sitting there going, "That's pretty good, up 3-0 against your most bitter rival." The last game they played cost them the Stanley Cup. The last time the Oilers played a game that counted was losing the Stanley Cup. And
I remember.
They come out here and they look like as good as they did in the first half of the game, and then just everything, the air just completely came out of the balloon, and they ended up losing in a shootout to a team that most people think won't make the playoffs. So, I mean, we all know their schedule is what the schedule is. They have 2 more games in less than 3 days. With travel in between. I think they're flying back on Friday morning from Vancouver. They're not going to try to do the weird fly right after the game thing. So they're going to get a good night of sleep and then fly back from Vancouver and then play the afternoon game on Saturday. So it's going to be fairly rapid fire for them. But I'll give them credit. A lot of teams, including a lot of additions of the Calgary Flames, could have rolled over and died down 3-0 on the road in Edmonton. And these guys I was impressed they managed to get points out of it, let alone 2. So, yeah, it's been a long day.
Who did you guys talk to for post?
We got in order. We got Nazem Kadri, Matvei Gridin, and Blake Coleman. Coleman and Kadri are always good. Gridin, despite poor Matvei Gridin 3 years ago was adjusting to the United States Hockey League and the English language, and now he's scoring goals in National Hockey League games and actually being one of the Flames' better players in the process. So his answers, while in incomplete English, are very good, and I have a lot of respect for him for coming out and facing the media as often as he does, and for doing enough noteworthy things that we keep asking for him, because he's 19. Kids who are 19 should not be pulling off the kind of moves he's pulling off. He didn't score on it, but the move he pulled on Evan Bouchard in the first period was super impressive. And I was sitting next to some scouts, and they're like, I didn't think you could do that. Okay, that's pretty cool. So, yeah. It's
almost like this guy led CHL rookies in scoring or something.
Yeah, it's Craig Conroy is in a good mood, I think, after the game. Yeah, it was. Although, I don't think anyone needs to see an 8-round shootout again. But
yeah, did the guys have anything to say about seeing Mangiapane on the other side?
More this morning. We talked. A few of us talked to Mangiapane this morning. I wrote a piece for FlameStation.ca about it. He thought it'd be weird and was like, okay, at least it was going to be weird for him to play for the Oilers to begin with, and then weird to play the Flames. So the fact he got sort of both out of the way, he was kind of looking forward to just sort of pulling off the Band-Aid, so to speak, and getting used to being on the team. And he played pretty good. I liked his goal, but Yeah, I think after the game, I think most of the discussion was about how, much like last year, the Flames did not get out to a great start in the game, and then they found that gear, found the magic, started playing and looking like the way we think the Flames could look or should look, and then pretty good. So yeah, I don't know. They're undefeated through one game, which I don't think a lot of people expected, and we'll see if they can keep that going tomorrow when they play the Canucks in another goddamn 8:00 start on a weekday.
Yeah, we're gonna be here for that.
I'm missing tomorrow.
I'm gonna be here for that, and I think I'm on with Pike. I think, yeah. So it'll be a homecoming for you, buddy.
The
what-
boys are back in
What do you
town.
think? Tomorrow's game, I felt like there weren't really a whole lot of weak links. It seemed tonight. What do you think they should do? Do you think new goalie, new defenseman, maybe? What do you think? What do you think the plan will be?
I think if it was up to me, especially based on how busy Dustin Wolf was in the back half, I think you give it to Devin Cooley. And I would probably swap out Jake Bean for Zane Parekh.
Yeah.
Bless their hearts. All due respect to the Vancouver Canucks, they terrify me for matchups a little bit less than the Oilers. And I think, you kind of need to use Parekh just to sort of get a sense of things. Like he was watching tonight. Hopefully he was taking notes, and just the idea of, the difference in terms of, like, let's be honest, the Flames in the first half, slow decision making, slow forecheck. Second half, fast decision making, fast forecheck. And I think those are the kind of things that Parekh will need to get game reps to sort of hone for himself. But he's gonna be an important player for them, but he's gonna need to start getting some game action soon.
Yeah, feels that way for sure. Pike, what's the plan? You coming home tonight or staying up there, getting away in the morning?
Yeah, it's a morning trek back, so I'm gonna try to get some writing done after I finish up with you guys, and got some videos to put out and stuff like that. So it's a lot of stuff. It's been I went from morning skate to the office. Yes, right. Oilers Nation has an office. Was in the office for a few hours, went back to the hotel, did some more stuff, went to the rink, covered the game, came back here, said hello to you fine people.
Living the dream.
I guess Mike and fine people.
Wow.
Amy gets her own category.
Wow.
And the chat.
Okay. Well,
if we're ranking people I want to talk to after a game, Cammy, the chat, and then Mike sort of.
What about Jack?
Jack's always high on my list. I talk to Jack all the time.
Okay. All right. Well, with
Jack's
that,
omnipresent. I have one more question for you though.
Go
Pike.
for it.
Has Jay's fever hit Rogers yet?
I did not see very many Blue Jays jerseys, and I don't know if they did any announcement during the game. At least when I was paying attention, I don't know if they did any in arena announcements that the Jays had advanced. So I don't know. I mean, I guess they only have room in their hearts for one team in Edmonton, and they lost to the Flames tonight. So
that's just poor sportsmanship. That's why they lost. That's why they lost. They just didn't have in their hearts to keep room. Well, appreciate it, Pike. Thanks for being the correspondent. We'll see you tomorrow.
See you guys.
Thanks, pal.
Ryan Pike
Reporting live.
Yeah, it's on our man on the ground.
It was a busy day for him.
Yeah, he's a machine.
Yeah.
Walking, talking, bag of bones.
Yeah, I kind of thought there'd be more buzz around the win, but anyway, we do know the initial schedule for the American League Championship Series. We don't know who they're playing. Blue Jays will face the Mariners or the Tigers. But the Jays will have home field advantage and will play the first two games of the best of 7 at Rogers on Thanksgiving Sunday, the 12th, and the Monday, the 13th. What's the best place to watch that game, Michael?
Well, the best place to watch that game is down at, I would say, the Unicorn. The Unicorn on 4th or on 8th Avenue Southwest.
Super Pub.
U Centers of Calgary and the Unicorn. I don't know. That's yeah. Three fours, 3 bars, 1 destination. They're the bar.
Yeah.
They're the bar of the Flames. And we were down there a couple days ago, and they were telling us they're the only Flames bar that's in walking distance of the Dome. The Flames have got bars that they partner with, but there's ones in Red Deer, There's ones that are way, way out in the galaxy, the ionosphere of whatever plane of existence we inhabit. But you can go down to Unicorn, and you can have one horn and two legs, and you can walk there from 4th Street right to the Dome. And you can have a Molson while you're down there and just have a great time.
Yeah, game day, $7 pints of Molson Canadian. And they always play playoff games with the sound. That's huge. You got to have the sound
You
on.
got to have the sound.
Yeah.
It's
So
not
daily
optional.
specials, happy hour, and a brunch on Saturday and Sunday.
Oh,
And all the fun games.
well, on Sunday, I've been looking for something to do on Sundays. There's not a whole lot else to do on Sundays right now.
See you there.
Yeah, that's NFL. Start the day off right. It's a nice spot, 4th Street. We went to that one 2 days ago. Looking forward to going to the one on 8th. It's. I mean, the 8th Ave one is the super pub, they call it, the super pub.
Mhm.
The 4th Street one, though, I kind of like it. It's got the dartboards. It's sort of an enclosed location. It's nice.
The wings were good.
The wings, you know
were
what?
Very good.
Do you know what was good? It was the gyoza was good.
I swear, you're going to have 5,000 regular season gyoza by the time we
Gyoza.
get through all this.
Gyoza at the Unicorn. It was something. It was something good.
Oh, that is good. We've talked a little bit about the game in Vancouver tomorrow. Before we get to the road ahead, what's going on at Platinum Mitsubishi?
Platinum Mitsubishi, 2720 Barlow Trail Northeast. Don't know if you're aware, Cammie, but Platinum Mitsubishi sells vehicles. And some of those vehicles are available with 0% financing, which is, look at that. They're happy to be back for the Afterburner.
That does
road
look like the
ahead.
face of someone who would try to tell a grown-ass woman what a vehicle is.
A vehicle. This here is a vehicle, and it's got room for 5 and maybe 7 with these expandable seats. Yeah, it's 2720 Barlow Trail. 0% financing available, not only on Outlander gas models. Those are the bread and butter. You drive them around. You don't have to worry. There's a couple of those Outlander gas models. 0% financing on those, but also on PHEV, Outlander plug-in hybrids. Now, those are really cool. And they go 70 kilometers just on battery power. And then the gas kicks in, and you can go hundreds more kilometers. And while the gas and the battery are running simultaneously, the gas charges up the battery. So when you're driving on the highway, after 90 minutes, your battery is back to full, and you can drive on the battery again.
I sent Outlander B-roll too, but it was from South Park, and we didn't get to play it.
The B-roll was pretty good. Anyway, yeah, 2720 Barlow Trail Northeast, Platinum Mitsubishi, locally owned by a family of Flames fans, and they will hook you up with a 7-seat SUV that can be a 5-seater, be a 7-seater, but it'll be, regardless, something you love.
Next time we do a show together, Mike's going to tell me how brakes work.
Yeah.
Kidding. But to the road ahead. Right away, back-to-back versus the Vancouver Canucks. Are they improved? Will Pettersson bounce back? They also have Braden Coots from Sherwood Park making his NHL debut. It's going to be fun. Then Saturday, they've got the matinee start for the old home opener.
Yeah.
St. Louis Blues.
It'll be a bit of a bumpy road ahead. It is a strange schedule. I don't remember the last time that we saw a 2 p.m. Saturday home opener for this Flames team. They've had some weird home openers over the years. I remember they played their home opener against Pittsburgh one year for some reason back in like 2010. They've done some weird stuff on home openers. They like playing the Canucks in their home opener. This time it's going to be, St. Louis. It's not really a team that you would sort of take to the front of your mind. And ultimately the Flames, I mean, they did this last year. They gave themselves a bit of a cushion. They allowed themselves right off the hop to be in a position where they were competitive, and they have a position to do that this time. Their October schedule is going to be tricky, all across the board. It's, they're playing against teams that have had their number. They're playing against teams that are going to be right there in them with the standings. October is not going to be an easy month, but they're going to have to find a way to push through.
Yep. As we continue to look through the next 5 games on Tuesday, you got another home tilt versus a Stanley Cup favorite in the Vegas Golden Knights. Mitch Marner, Noah Hannafin. Those are always fun games.
Well, that was another crazy game tonight.
Oh, man. Dethroned the Kings. Is it 6-3?
No. I think the Kings won. The Kings
way.
The Kings came back and won that game in a shootout.
Oh, my.
So it was all over the place. Pavel Dorofeyev scored a hat trick, and then it was a shootout. Andrei Kuzmenko, I know, scored in regulation, and it ended up being a 6-5 Kings victory.
You know what? Big night for the underdogs.
Trevor Moore with the shootout winner. I think he's from Thousand Oaks, California. Trevor Moore.
Okay.
Yeah.
LA Kings serving call an ambulance, but not for me.
That's right. Same as the Flames. They pulled it
Yeah.
off. They pulled it off.
Exciting stuff. All right. Well, that was the Golden Knights day. I kind of love that actually. Wednesday, visiting the Utah Mammoth, Sans Tej.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they sent
yeah.
Tej down. They sent Daniil Butt down. Danny Goals himself. I
Mhm.
thought he would make the team. 6'7" winger who's quite good. Yeah, Utah. They signed Kevin Rooney the other day.
Mm-hmm.
The Runes
Yep.
went to the Tunes. And now he's going to go down to the AHL. Pike came up with a good one. He's going to play for Tucson. The Rune Runners.
Ooh, yeah.
Instead of the Road Runners, the Rune Runners in
Love
Tucson.
that.
So
Love that. But if
Kevin Rooney.
anyone does want to keep some tabs on Tej in Kelowna this year, working back from hip surgery, they're hosting the Memorial Cup and making his season debut on Friday against potentially the son of another famed NHLer, Marcus Larocque and the Seattle
Yes.
Thunderbirds.
Yes, Marcus Larocque. I had the chance to call a couple of his games when he was like 13 or 14. He was imposing always.
Oh my gosh, he's 16 years old, 6'4", 215 pounds. Just got his first WHL goal and fight in the same game over the weekend.
Yeah, he's not one to be trifled with. It's really interesting to see. The Dub, obviously, there's been a lot of discussion about the future of the way that things are going to shake out. It is definitely a point in favor of the Dub that we're looking now at guys like Braden Coots, who right out of being drafted, they have the opportunity to make the NHL and show what they can do.
Oh, Ben Kindle as well.
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to be seeing too much of him in Calgary this year,
No,
folks.
Ben Kindle, made the Penguins out of camp. It's definitely a point in their favor. And so, Braden Coots, a guy, again, kind of like Matt Vagridden, who was just kind of undeniable in training camp. And for the Canucks, they badly need another center. Like they desperately, they right now it's Philip Hedl who's penciled in as their number 2. Braden Coots, he's there. And I can remember the last time the Flames opened their season against a Canucks center who proceeded to torch them that night in his first NHL game and never really looked back. And on that same token, Elias Pettersson also had a very good preseason for the Canucks. So it's not going to be an easy game.
And if you guys wanted a shot at another again, line Calgary,
Joe with the Oil Kings.
I think they lost to Medicine Hat tonight, though.
Did they?
Anyway, stream those all for free on Victory Plus.
Ho-ho.
Oh, we digressed a little bit, but we're going to wrap up the road ahead with October 18th, a Saturday where Calgary visits Vegas.
Yeah.
For the first time this season, and just something to keep an eye on. We're closing in on it. Calgary's coming up on 1,000 games.
Wow.
At 986 tonight, I believe. And I'm just going to double check the score sheet just to see if anything changed. No, yeah, Michael Backlund is still 1 point away from moving up again in the Flames all-time scoring list.
Yeah, it's funny. I was saying during the game, especially early on, the Flames, they just did not look particularly potent offensively at all. But Nazem Kadri just continues to be a guy whenever he has the puck, he is capable of making something happen with it to a certain extent. I know he has a lot on his shoulder, a chip on his shoulder with the whole Olympic thing that we heard about all summer, where he was not a fan of not being invited. Again, I don't think he's necessarily ever going to be on that short list, but Nazem Kadri seems to have something to prove still, and he certainly looked like that tonight.
I think you took a look at what's going on tomorrow on Bet365 just before we wrap it up here.
Yeah, absolutely. So Bet365, never ordinary, of course, and really our obvious bet for tomorrow is looking at Calgary versus Vancouver because it's a back-to-back. We have the odds for it. And Jack, it's looking like the market's favor of the Canucks just
Big time.
a little bit. Minus 200. That's a healthy split in their favor. The Flames at plus 165. So if you're thinking this is the start of something new for the Flames, if you're thinking that it's maybe not a mirage, they're going to be this sort of team all year. But by the same token, I don't know, plus 165 if you got Devin Cooley in net.
You know what I'm doing? I'm hitting the over 5.5.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, if Devin
That's a good
Cooley's in
idea.
net,
That's a good
hammer
idea.
that over.
Well, I don't know if you saw this, Jack, but Arturs Shilovs,
Yes, on my Penguins.
former
Shutout
Canucks
king.
fame, shutout in his first game with the Penguins against them New York Rangers. So Canucks maybe could use a little bit of that flavor, but
And how about that starting lineup? Crosby, Malkin, Letang, and then
Yeah.
there's Ben Kindle and Harrison Brunick.
yeah, it's old and the new, and Artur Shilov is a little bit of both. It's yeah. So I very much agree with you, Jack. Over, and just watch. Now that we've said that, it's going to be a Devin Cooley.
Shut up.
Yeah, 25 saves on 26 shots as the Flames grind it out 2-1.
Hey, we got Al in the chat here. Calgary's going to work van tomorrow.
I wish I had your optimism. One game is a very small sample, but I remember sitting in this exact chair about 1 year ago saying one game was a very small sample, and the Flames proceeded to put up 94 more points that year. So really the main takeaway is that I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. And I probably shouldn't be sitting in this chair, but they have yet to find a suitable replacement, so I persist. And it's really a shame.
The best we can with the tools we have. All we can do. All we can do.
There are tools here.
Yeah. That's a look at what's coming up. Download the app and get in on the game. Use code NATION on Bet365. Any final thoughts before we wrap this thing up?
I will never be able to look at Morgan Frost without thinking of Mr. Freeze from Batman and Robin.
I gave you a chance to get this out of your system earlier. All right, do your thing.
You are not taking me to the cooler. Tonight's forecast. Everyone freezes.
You're not selling me on watching these movies.
The Iceman cometh. What killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age. That's not even true.
That was the asteroid.
I know that's not even true. That he says it in the movie, but it's not true. So
Misinformation
cool party.
in a Superman movie?
It's not even Superman.
I don't know.
It's Batman. Come on,
Come
George
on,
Clooney's in
Jeremy.
it.
Oh, was that the
That's the George Clooney Batman.
was that the
The one where he's bobbling his head around.
no,
or
that Batman.
the one with the nipples.
Yes.
Yeah. Of course, it was the one with the nipples. It's the one with the big bat butts and the big bat nipples.
I
And
didn't know there were bat butts.
oh, there are bat butts.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I feel more and more like Boomer every day.
Let's kick some ice. Yeah, Morgan Frost came close in the shootout. Yegor Sharangovich came close in the shootout. I thought he was okay tonight, actually. Connor Zary, not so close in the shootout. Matt Coronado hit the post in the shootout. They really went on and on and on and on, just like we are.
On that note, do we see Dustin Wolf slapped with the back-to-back to start the season? No. Will Zane Parekh make his season debut? Probably. The boys will shout about it on Barn Burner. Mike and Pike will have the post-game show, but thanks for sticking with us tonight or tuning in on the morning if you were smart and went to bed at a reasonable hour. But awesome to be back for another season. 1 down, 81 to go.
Cammy, I hate to ruin your outro. We have one more super chat.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I need to actually have a monitor up or something.
Intervention.
Yeah.
I've been watching Grid Play, and tonight I saw his game hit a new gear. What did you think was his showing on the ice tonight? His showing on the ice tonight was thoroughly positive. Thoroughly positive. That's all I got to say about that.
So good, so good, so good.
Yeah. It's I mean, he looked very composed. Like I said, it wasn't a case of a player who came in, got that one game, and you're immediately saying, okay, good work, buddy. But
The only thing that would have been better would be if he scored on that breakaway in overtime.
yeah,
But he was gassed.
or in the
So
shootout.
hey, yeah.
Yeah.
Good for him for just not messing it up.
In this universe, there is only one absolute. Everything freezes.
Oh my gosh, get me out of here. Bye. Bye.